She invited me to her friend's wedding, a lavish affair where we danced, snapped countless pictures, and spent the entire evening side by side. Later, I checked her social media posts. Dozens of images, yet I was meticulously edited out of every single one. Her post painted a picture of her attending solo. When I confronted her, she smirked and said, "Frankly, I didn't want my followers thinking I'd settled for less." I stayed silent. This morning, she's hammering on my door, yelling my name. My phone shows 31 missed calls, and the number keeps climbing. I'm not one to broadcast personal drama online, but when someone reveals their true character and then faces the consequences of their own actions, that's a tale worth sharing. Sophia and I had been together for 7 months. I'm 32, a civil engineer, love hiking, and keep myself fit. I'm no heartthrob, but I've never been told I'm someone to hide away. Sophia, 29, works in marketing for a high-end hotel group, curating an Instagram that screams perpetual glamour. Flawless angles, impeccable lighting, everything staged to perfection. Looking back, the red flags were there. Her obsession with snapping dozens of photos before we could dig into meals at restaurants. The constant monitoring of likes and comments, even during our time together, the subtle jabs about my wardrobe not being trendy enough for her posts. Still, I was smitten. She had a magnetic charm, a sharp wit, and seemed genuinely curious about my career and passions, at least when her phone wasn't glued to her hand, which wasn't often. 2 weeks ago, her college friend Emma was tying the knot at a luxurious vineyard estate 2 hours from town. Sophia had been buzzing about it for months, partly for her friend's joy, but mostly, I suspected, for the perfect photo ops. "This place is unreal," she'd said repeatedly. "The pictures will be unreal." I rented a sharp suit, got a fresh haircut, and even splurged on new shoes for the occasion. When I picked her up that Saturday, she looked breathtaking in a sapphire dress that matched the venue's floral theme. She'd scoured the bride's Instagram for every detail of the color palette. She gave my outfit an approving nod before we set off. The wedding was stunning. We danced, sipped champagne, and posed for countless photos, both together and alone. Sophia seemed genuinely warm, introducing me to her friends with what felt like pride. I remember thinking, maybe this is becoming something serious. How naive I was. The next morning, I was up early, brewing coffee while Sophia slept. Curious about the wedding photos, I opened Instagram. Sophia had been busy overnight. Her story had 15 posts, and her main feed featured a polished carousel. But something felt wrong. In every photo we'd taken together, I was cropped out. Shots we'd asked guests to take of us were edited to show only her. Selfies we'd snapped together were trimmed to erase me. Even in group photos, my face was subtly blurred if I appeared in the background. Her caption read, "Flying solo at the dreamiest wedding." Congrats to Emma Claire on finding your soulmate. Still looking for mine. Hashtag single vibes, hashtag wedding season, hashtag not a bridesmaid. Still looking for mine? A chill ran through me. Maybe it was a branding choice I didn't get. Maybe it was a joke. When Sophia woke and joined me in the kitchen, I showed her the post without a word. She glanced at it, unfazed. "Why have to grab me out and say you're single?" I asked, keeping my voice even. She gave a slight eye roll. "It's just Instagram, Ethan. Don't overthink it." "I'd like to understand your reasoning." She sighed as if I were being a nuisance. "My followers expect a certain vibe. Solo shots perform better, especially at places like this. The algorithm loves it. People eat up the lone girl at a wedding story." That's when her mask slipped. Instead of reassuring me, she gave a look dripping with disdain, followed by a smirk. "Honestly? I didn't want people thinking I'd lowered my standards." The words stung like a slap. Lowered her standards. 7 months together, and this was her truth. Not that she valued me, but that I was an embarrassment to her image. Lowered your standards, I echoed. She backtracked, defensive. Look, my ex was a runway model. The one before him was a semi-pro athlete. My followers expect a certain look. You're great, but you don't fit the aesthetic. I felt hollow. 7 months, and I was a downgrade in her eyes. Someone cheated to protect her brand. Got it, I said quietly. Don't blow this out of proportion, she huffed, already scrolling her phone. It's just social media. It's not real life. But that smirk, that cutting honesty was all too real. I didn't argue or raise my voice. I nodded, finished my coffee, and said I had a work emergency. She barely glanced up as I left her place. Driving home, a plan took shape. If her online image was her priority, then that's where she'd feel the repercussions. I called Emma, the bride. We'd hit it off at the wedding, and she'd seemed happy Sophia was in a relationship. I explained the situation calmly, no theatrics. I asked if she had access to the photographer's unedited photos. She was quiet for a moment. She did this to Lucas, too, Emma said. Her ex before you. I thought it was odd, but she claimed he wanted their relationship private. An hour later, Emma sent me a link to the photographer's full gallery, every photo unedited. Next, I tracked down Lucas Sophia's ex via Emma's Instagram. He wasn't a runway model, just a financial analyst who'd done some freelance modeling. We met for a drink that night, and his story was revealing. She did the same to me, he said. For 2 years, I was her partner in private, invisible online. When I called her out, she said her brand mattered more than my feelings. And the guy before you? The athlete? Lucas chuckled. Ryan? He played college soccer, but now he runs a fitness store. Cool guy, actually. We're buddies now. Over the next 3 days, I dug deeper. I contacted 5 of Sophia's exes. Each shared a similar story. All had been erased or misrepresented online. None matched the glamorous personas she described to me. Meanwhile, Sophia acted like our confrontation never happened. She texted as usual, planned our weekend, sent links to trendy restaurants. Not once did she address her words or their impact. To her, it was a non-event. On the 4th day, I acted. I created an Instagram account, The Real Sophia Marfialan. I uploaded unedited wedding photos of us together. Screenshots of her single vibes, posts next to pictures of us as a couple from the same events. With their consent, I included statements from her exes exposing her pattern of erasure and belittlement. The final blow? The video of Sophia's own words, recorded covertly. The night before, I'd invited her to my place for dinner. I guided the conversation toward social media, authenticity, and relationships, my phone recording in my pocket. I asked variations of the questions from our earlier talk. In her comfort zone, she opened up. Instagram is everything. It's not just pictures, it's status, influence. If people judge you by who's in your orbit, I have to be careful. So I'm bad for your image? I asked, keeping it light. She sighed, exasperated. You're not bad, Ethan. You're just ordinary. My followers want glamour, not average. And your exes? Were they all perfect for your brand? She laughed. Hardly. Lucas was a dull accountant. Ryan sold gym equipment. Chris had promise, but drove a Toyota. She smirked.
But online?
They didn't exist. My engagement soared because of it. The recording captured 15 minutes of her cold, calculated views on relationships as tools for her social media narrative. I posted everything at 9 a.m., when I knew she'd check her analytics. I tagged everyone, her friends, coworkers, family, exes, and the luxury brands she collaborated with. The account gained over 1,000 followers in an hour. By noon, it was shared in stories by dozens, including 2 influencers she'd dreamed of working with. At 12:37 p.m., my phone started buzzing. Sophia. I ignored the calls. Then came the texts. What are you doing? Delete this now. You're destroying my career. My brand deals are freaking out. This is libel. I didn't reply. I turned off notifications and went to a movie. 3 hours later, I had 31 missed calls and over 60 messages. Her last text, sent 20 minutes earlier, read, I'm at your place. We need to talk. Now. When I got home, Sophia was there, pounding on my door, her voice hoarse with anger and panic. I stayed in my car, watching. I sent one text. I didn't want people thinking I'd settled for someone so shallow. It's just social media, right? Not real life. Then I checked into a hotel for the night. By morning, the fallout was massive. 3 brands had publicly cut ties with her. Dozens of followers shared stories of her similar behavior. Her perfect facade was crumbling in real time. She posted a tearful apology video that felt insincere against the evidence, toggled her account between private and public, limited comments, then briefly deleted it before restoring it with all posts archived. A textbook PR meltdown. A week later, the storm has calmed slightly. I deleted the account I made. Its purpose was fulfilled, and I'm not here to prolong her humiliation. That wasn't the point. The point was accountability. Precise, deliberate accountability for someone who treated people as props. Sophia tried various tactics to reach me. Fury, begging, justifications, baseless legal threats. Truth is a defense against defamation. Finally, yesterday, she sent an email that seemed heartfelt. I see now what I've done. Not just to you, but to everyone. I've been chasing likes and validation so long I forgot what's real. The image became everything. I know you may never forgive me, but I'm truly sorry. Not for the fallout, but for who I turned into. Maybe she's sincere. Maybe it's another act. Either way, I'm done. Some might argue my response was excessive. And I could have just left quietly. To them, I say patterns don't break without exposure. Sophia had been using people as pawns for years, hiding or discarding them when they didn't fit her narrative. People like that don't change because another person walks away. Sometimes the kindest thing for future partners and even for them is to deliver consequences that demand self-reflection. Do I regret it? Only that I didn't see her for who she was sooner. There's a certain poetic balance in using the platform she valued above all to reveal her truth. The real Sophia, unedited, unfiltered. Edit, to those questioning if this was necessary, yes. This wasn't about one cruel remark. It was about years of dehumanizing behavior toward multiple partners. Sometimes public consequences are the only ones that matter to someone obsessed with their public image. Edit 2, no, I'm not concerned about legal fallout. Everything I shared was either provably true or her own words. I consulted a lawyer beforehand. Edit 3, for those curious about Sophia's aftermath, mutual friends say she's staying with family, rethinking her social media obsession. Whether it's growth or damage control, time will tell. Edit 4, final note. 3 months on, I've moved forward, taken a new job I'd been eyeing, and started dating someone who happily shares candid photos of us. Sophia, I hear, has rebuilt half her following with a supposedly more genuine approach. I wish her well, truly. Some lessons are costly but essential.